Hey, in today's video, I want to give you 3 bass guitar drills that you should do every single day to transform your bass guitar playing. Hey guys, it's James here from eBassGuitar and welcome to another episode of our show, Real World Bass Heroes. Again, I'm here with Freddie Draper. And one thing I'm doing with every guest we get on this show is I'm asking them about the drills they do every single day, the warm-up and the technique exercises they do to keep their hands in shape, to improve their muscle speed and make sure when they pick up the bass and they do a gig that everything is working. But before we do that, I've got a quick favor to ask. I was staggered when I looked at the eBassGuitar YouTube channel statistics 2 or 3 months back that 80% of people who watch the eBassGuitar YouTube channel on a regular basis aren't subscribed to the channel. What I would love you to do is hit that little red button and the bell icon, which is somewhere around this video. What that means in practice is that the more subscribers we get to the channel, the more it will grow and the more we can make great quality bass educational content to help you guys push your bass playing forward. So please do hit that red button, which is somewhere around this video. So guys, there's a free PDF which comes with this lesson, which will show all of the drills Freddie's going to show us today, written out in standard notation and tab, so you can download it to your computer and work on these yourself. There's a link in the description below where you can grab your free copy.
Okay, so here are my 3 essential warm-ups. So the first one is actually entirely to do with the fretting hand, okay? I don't do anything with the right hand, that comes in later. So what I do is on the G string, I move up to fret 5, which is a C, and I slowly begin to trill like this. And notice I keep my fingers nice and curved, okay? I do that, and then what I do is I keep those 2 fingers down, and then I add my 3rd finger, making sure that everything stays curved. I continue to trill like this, okay? This is just to get a little bit of blood flowing into the fingers. And also I can do it with no sound as well. As long as I do it nice and gently, it's just a way of keeping my fingers in contact with the strings. Then lastly, you guessed it, I can add my 4th finger. Now this one is quite tricky. I don't want to be held responsible for anybody getting repetitive strain injury. So if this starts to hurt at any point, then blame James instead. So keeping these 3 fingers down, it's a little bit tricky, but it's just really nice to keep the blood flowing. And then I usually sort of reset, whittle my hand around a little bit, and I'll just lightly throw them onto the string like this, doing this sort of chromatic spidery exercise. So you go from doing this, and you can do this anywhere on the instrument.
So Freddie, why are you focusing just on the left hand or the fretting hand here? Most players would play that sort of warm exercise with 2 hands together. Why do you just focus it on one?
Well, of course you can focus on using both hands together, but I find the very premise of warming up is gently easing your brain and your kinetic skills into being prepared to play the instrument. So I actually really like doing my 2nd warm-up with my right hand.
Brilliant. And the other benefit that I can see to practicing independently there, specifically with the fretting hand, is you can start to gain much more strength and dexterity if you focus on it in isolation.
Absolutely, because you're not worried about the subtleties of the right hand technique, because that's completely removed. You're entirely focused on this.
Brilliant. So let's move on to the 2nd warm-up exercise that you do every single day. What is that? Talk to me about that.
So I basically move through subdivisions of 4/4 with the right hand using alternative fingers, or sometimes with the pick as well. I'll do it with fingers for now, but I'll just take crotchets or quarter notes if you're across the pond. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do 8s, triplets, 16th. And then I move backwards through it. And what I'll tend to do is I'll tend to move that across all the different strings, but I'm really hyper-focused on my timing and just the connection that I'm making with the string with that hand.
Do you do that with a metronome or without a metronome?
You can do it with either. I personally like to mix this kind of thing up.
Great.
Because I think it's really important to work on your own internal timing as well, because you're not going to be playing with a drummer or a click in every situation.
What sort of tempos do you do this at?
Anything from as slow as 80 all the way up to 140.
So you can use this as a real way of building up your right hand speed or your fretting hand speed.
Absolutely.
So Freddie, tell me about the third warm-up drill that you do every single day.
So the third one that I do every single day, after I've made sure that I've got my first exercise, getting those trills, and getting my timing together, I now focus on string skipping and shapes a little bit more. My left hand is nicely warmed up, my right hand is nicely warmed up. So considering that major scale harmony is such an important part of pop music, and seventh chords appear in that kind of music so much, one of the best exercises I was shown, funnily enough by a double bass teacher, was moving up the major scale, playing through every single seventh chord, going up and then down. I'll show you what I mean by that. So we'll do it in the key of C, fret 3 on the A string. So I play C major 7, and then I move up to D minor 7. But rather than playing it ascending, I actually start from the 7th and I descend down. So it will sound like this. C major, D minor, then up to E minor 7. And then you guessed it, we go to F major 7. Then I go up to G dominant 7. And then I move to A minor 7 going down. B minor 7 flat 5. And then we finish up again with C major. So the really cool thing about this is once you reach the top, you can do it backwards. So I previously finished descending through that C major 7. What if I start with it and I work backwards? So let's ascend through C major 7, down through B minor 7, sorry, B minor 7 flat 5, up through A minor 7, down through G dominant 7, up through F major 7, down through E minor 7, up through D minor 7, and then down with C major 7. So the whole exercise will sound like this.
Now, I absolutely love that. I've taught that exercise a ton. In fact, we're just in the process of making a whole course based on the ideas which are derived from that exact concept over at eBassGuitar.
Brilliant.
The thing I love about that is it combines techniques, warm-up, and above all, musicality.
Totally. You can add some slides. You don't necessarily have to play every single note because sometimes you're playing more than one string on the same note. You can try it with a variety of different techniques as well. It's a great one to try with a pick. It's really great for working on that string skipping technique.
And also the covert thing which is in there is ear training too, because you're starting to hear the fundamental chords which are related to what I estimate of being about 80% of pop, rock, soul, funk, country music. It's all in there. Major scale, diatonic harmony, which is all in that one exercise, is so, so important. So I recommend download the free PDF which comes with this lesson, and you can learn to play that exercise. Then if you jump over to eBassGuitar, check out the Bass Lab Plus, there'll be a ton more variations upon that. And I'll also teach you how to strategically get from the beginning points of doing those sorts of exercises up to what Freddie is doing there. So guys, that's it for today. Thank you to Freddie for another episode of Real World Bass Heroes. It's so cool to hear the 3 exercises that he does every day. Implement those, learn them. I guarantee you will see results in your bass playing. And if you want help with your bass playing, jump over to eBassGuitar.com. Check out the Bass Lab Plus. It's a full step-by-step program there waiting to go there. There's even a cheeky 14-day trial so you can take it for a road test completely free. Plus, if you really want to take your bass playing to that next level and you want to study with Freddie, he's one of our VIP coaches over at eBassGuitar. So if you want to work one-to-one and get coached and discover firsthand how these exercises work from him, make sure you put an application form in there. Cheers, I've been James from eBassGuitar.com and this is Freddie Draper.
Thank you for having me.
And we will see you next week.